Working on a weed eater today. Belongs to a co-worker. He says he loaned it out and it came back dog and just binding up and not wanting to run. The motor was running and trying to run, but the spool just wouldn't turn. And so the first thing I looked for, well, I just blew some dirt and dust off of it. This is a Troy built, but it doesn't matter what brand it is, they all run into this. Getting strings and long strands of grass and stuff wound around this part right in here. So that's what I'm going to concentrate on before I even put any gas in it and try to start it up. First thing I'm going to do is clean up that area right there. And I already started. Then I ran inside, grabbed the camera, thought I probably ought to do a video on this because it's a common problem. Just take a knife like this and just clean that out of there. Might not even have to take this head off of it. We might be able to just get it all right here. We'll see. I'm working through a notch, a hole I found over here. Sorry about the noise, but they don't have a lawnmower next door, and they had to hire a professional team to come out and cut the grass down. It's about knee high. And they're doing it right now while I'm doing this. Anyway, I had to change this gearbox on this thing, and I'm going to show why. This is the gearbox that came off of it. And the reason it went bad was because of all this junk that was tied and wrapped all up around it. Wrapped around this area here so tight this is the old one. It was pushed in there so tight that it had forced the seal. This is the seal that goes on the bearing. It had forced that out of place, and the grass was all up in here, and dirt and water had forced its way in there because, well, they had just allowed too much of this stuff. You don't cut this grass with these weed trimmers when it's 2 feet high all the way down at the bottom. You start at the top and you cut about 6 inches off, then you go down another 6 inches and do it again, and you keep doing that till you get down near the bottom, because if you start at the bottom, you're going to have pieces 2 and 3 feet long that are going to be tightly wrapping around this and forcing their way in. As you wrap more and more strings of grass around it, it's going to keep forcing the stuff in there. This bearing right here is locked up. I'm going to show what happens with that. I got it freed up now pretty much with spraying oil and stuff in it, but still the inner bearing race, this is the outer bearing race, these are the balls, the inner bearing race is in there that's on the shaft. Well, that inner bearing race does not roll inside the bearings like it should. The whole race is spinning on this shaft, and that's wallering out the shaft, and it's going to burn it up. So either we replace the bearing, which is going to be a headache for me to find new bearings for it, the right size, or just replace the whole gearbox. 26 bucks and some change for the gearbox is what I paid in this particular case. It's not worth my time to try to find a bearing for it.